What if innocence wasn't a sign of weakness, but the ultimate camouflage? There is a disturbing truth in nature that we often refuse to see. The animals that appear the most helpless, fragile, or vulnerable are sometimes the ones executing the most calculated manipulation. We are programmed to protect the weak, to pity the defenseless. But behind that vulnerability lies a sharp evolutionary strategy. More than 2,000 years ago, Aristotle wrote in his History of Animals that certain creatures do not survive through strength, but by speculating on the reactions of others. They exploit our instincts. Today, we will decode the dark psychology of the animal kingdom and why evolutionary survival often requires the ultimate deception. Stay until the end, because the final law will change the way you look at human relationships forever. The weaponization of pity. Consider the killdeer, a small, seemingly defenseless bird. When a predator approaches its nest, it doesn't fight. Instead, it drags its wing on the ground, crying out in apparent agony. It simulates a fatal injury. It says, "Look at me. I am broken. I am an easy target." The predator, driven by instinct, follows the easy prey, moving away from the nest. Once the danger is far enough, the bird miraculously heals and flies away. This isn't just survival, it is psychological warfare. The animal transforms its weakness into a trap, utilizing the predator's own hunger to control its movements. Emotional parasitism. The common cuckoo is the master of a mechanism psychologists call exploit-driven dependency. The mother cuckoo does not build a nest. She secretly lays her egg in the nest of a smaller, innocent bird. When the cuckoo chick hatches, it looks helpless, but it immediately throws the other eggs out. Then, it mimics the distress calls of an entire brood of hungry chicks. The foster mother, overwhelmed by this display of extreme need, literally works herself to death, feeding an existential enemy. The cuckoo's survival relies entirely on the fact that the host cannot refuse a cry for help. The tactical submission. In the social hierarchy of wolves and primates, submission is often seen as defeat, but nature teaches a different lesson. Young or weaker individuals often display exaggerated vulnerability, lying on their backs, exposing their throats, lowering their gaze. This isn't simple fear, it's tactical pacification. By convincing the dominant leader that they pose no threat, they lower its guard, they gain protection, resources, and time. They hide behind weakness while growing stronger. The false mirror of play. When young predators like foxes or leopards play together, one will often choose the role of the victim. It allows itself to be chased, pinned down, and dominated. It looks like innocent fun, but evolutionary biologists see something deeper. By acting weak, the animal gathers valuable information. It studies limits and the reactions of its rivals. It pretends to lose today so it can win tomorrow. The final law. So why does this matter to you? Because nature is a mirror. If an animal can weaponize vulnerability, so can a human being. True power isn't always noisy. True manipulation doesn't always scream or threaten. Sometimes it whispers, it plays the victim. It creates an artificial debt of pity, forcing you to step into the role of the savior, only to drain your energy, your time, or your resources. The next time someone constantly displays their fragility to you, remember the lesson of the cuckoo and the killdeer. Helping isn't enabling. Compassion without boundaries is just a target for deception. If you want to decode the hidden laws of nature, human psychology, and the invisible dynamics of power, subscribe now, because understanding the shadows means taking back control of your life.